You're live, it says. Hello, good morning. Sunday morning. I'm going to be reading from both books that I've been reading from throughout the week, or maybe two. And having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. I looked a little closer at the steps, and it's basically admit you got a problem, get with somebody about it, do inventory, make amends where you need to or can, and serve. Serve the sober community, serve the addiction community. So yeah, that's a lot of the steps seem to be repetitive to me, but maybe that's just me. I could be wrong. I usually am. Lest we become complacent. It's easy to let up on the spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels. We are headed for trouble if we do, for alcohol is a subtle foe. That's from the Alcoholics Anonymous Big Book, page 85. When I am in pain, it is easy to stay close to the friends I have found in the program. Relief from that pain is provided in the solutions contained in AA's 12 steps. But when I am feeling good and things are going well, I can become complacent. To put it simply, I become lazy and turn into a problem instead of the solution. I need to get into action, to take stock. Where am I and where am I going? A daily inventory will tell me what I must change to regain spiritual balance. Admitting what I find within myself to God and to another human being keeps me honest and humble. And this is in Sober on a Drunk Planet. I'm reading from chapter 5. I skipped ahead a few. The Sober Awakening. Living for the weekend makes for a grim existence, but it's an existence many people fall into and settle for. Life can get very repetitive, especially if you're working in a job that you don't enjoy. Sticking with it purely because you can turn up. Pardon me just a second. Oh, come on. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I didn't prepare very well today. Come on, get in there. Didn't have my mic on, didn't have the door closed. Conversation started leaking in and from the kitchen, and I got completely off the rails. I apologize very, very much. Sorry, you guys. Take a deep breath, drink a sip of coffee, maybe a sip of water. Again from the top. Living for the weekend makes for a grim existence, but it's an existence many people fall into and settle for. Life can get very repetitive, especially if you're working on a job you don't enjoy. Sticking with it purely because you can turn up hungover and still get paid. A life designed around making it through the day or the week until you have a beer or a glass of wine is soulless and empty. It's important not to blame yourself if that's what your life looks like. We're all conditioned to think it's normal, hence happy hour and wine o'clock. But there are 365 days in a year, and only 104 of them are the weekend days. It's not worth learning. Is it not worth learning to relish the other 261? My life during the 12 years I spent in the corporate world was boring and predictable. Get up, go to work, have lunch, watch the clock run down from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. when time appeared to almost stop. Then make a quick exit either home or to a bar. My main aims were to get through the day having done some work and to get through the year having done enough to get paid a bonus. That bonus paid for some things, which did nothing to nourish my soul. They just allowed me to pretend I was momentarily happy with my life. It was a very soulless existence. I used alcohol and drugs to numb the pain of how boring and soulless it actually was. We're conditioned to believe that material things like those purchased with my annual bonus can fill the void. But if that were true, there wouldn't be any unhappy rich people. The living for the weekend lifestyle is the same as the rat race lifestyle. There's little genuine difference between somebody grafting on minimum wage to pay for a couple of nights in their local pub and a stockholder working all week and celebrating with champagne and caviar and cocaine. It comes down to little more than pricier drugs and glitzier venues. I did my time in the corporate world, but after a couple of years of sobriety, I felt a strong urge to move on to something different. I was in a position where I could get things, the bigger house, bigger car. All I needed to do was work longer hours and get more stressed and burn myself out every few months. However much of it I did, the work still left me feeling empty. Giving up alcohol allowed me to see the light and understand that the corporate world didn't feed my soul. What is spirituality? Let's take a look at the dictionary definition of spirituality. Spirituality, quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. And that's in the Oxford Languages reference. Note that the definition says nothing about any God. Whether you're a devout believer or an atheist, you have a soul that is either nourished or neglected, and neither alcohol nor material things feed the soul. The work hard, play hard lifestyle that so many people pride themselves on doesn't nourish the soul. It comes down to something as simple as the fact that money can't buy happiness, and neither can bigger houses, faster cars, and expensive holidays. Work hard, play hard is the perfect lifestyle for people who want to burn themselves out and live increasingly materialistic lives. None of it has any correlation with happiness and contentment. Alcohol has a stronger connection to all of this than it might initially appear. Alcohol and other drugs can make you a passive participant in the rat race. If Monday to Friday are about doing the job and making money, and Saturday and Sunday are about dulling and forgetting the monotony of it all, how is anything going to change? Giving up alcohol creates the space for things to change. It breaks the cycle and allows you to think about what being concerned with the human spirit or soul could mean for you, with or without a God. A balanced and contented life requires you to think about three things: mind, body, and soul. You can think of them as three cups you need to keep full. All too often, people think about only the first two cups. They concentrate on trying to look good and be the best, mind and body, forget all about the soul. Materialism is a big part of this too. Many people wrongly assume that looking and being the best is about the size of the house, the job title, or where they go on holiday. Part of becoming sober on a drunk planet is waking up to this and realizing the third cup is equally important. It doesn't matter how many zeros you have in your bank account. If you're numb to the beauty of the world around you and are neglecting your soul, you will still be miserable. Spirituality means different things to different people. For some, it's about connecting with nature. For others, it's about a constant quest for learning and self-improvement. Some people feed their soul by volunteering, helping others, and campaigning about things they care about. Others find profound peace in activities like yoga and meditation. And yes, for some, it's about religion. Nobody here in the chat, so it's just you and me in the replay gang. Hi. Where I feel the most spiritually connected is out in nature. Obviously not out in nature where I'm getting bitten by bugs. That kind of puts a damper on that aspect of connecting with things. I don't really connect with having blood-sucking things attached to me. Pardon the grotesqueness of the visual there. But yeah, and the other thing that I find helps me kind of get recentered and spiritually connected is just getting out on the road in the car. It just kind of helps me blow the cobwebs. It's like the cobwebs are blowing out of my mind in the darker corners of the space of my insides. And every once in a while, I get to this place where I'm about to blow my top and I have to get out on the road. And I usually try to aim for getting out into nature. But I've even had those experiences in a new place that's populated, fairly, densely populated even. Just connecting with people. Yeah, but anyway, what is it that does it for you? And with that, I am going to close. Let's have a moment of silence for the person who's out there still suffering in addiction, and the ones whom we've loved and lost, and those struggling in sobriety as well, because that's real. That happens as well. And we'll follow with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Thanks for watching. Peace, y'all. Have a good one.